Hi. I teach world history. World history includes the Dark Ages. Dark Ages includes the bubonic plague. But why not have some fun teaching it? So I don't tell the kids anything about it leading up to the bubonic plague. And in fact, when they come in, the classroom looks different. I have a lantern. Well, it's a fake lantern, but it looks real. And I keep the lights off and tell the kids, I'm not feeling so good. Like, cough as they walk in. I have a cloak. I don't always wear a cloak, but in this instance, I'm wearing a cloak.
You're wearing a black cloak again.
What I do is I usually have a slideshow, but I've altered the slides just a bit to look a little torn or to look weathered like this. Essentially just desaturate the whole thing so it looks kind of gray. And normally I have smooth jazz playing in the background, but on that day I have graveyard sounds, background sounds, blowing winds, crows, things like that.
Exactly.
It actually takes them quite a while to pick up that something's off, because they're kids, I don't know. It takes them a while to pick up that something's off, you know?
I've waited such a long time.
Leading up to this lesson, I have the students create fictional characters, and they have to answer questions for their character. For example, someone might be a nobleman, someone might be a cooper, or a peasant, a farmer, a bishop, etc.
I call him half a nobleman.
And in this experiment, they have to respond for their characters. I give them a scenario. Someone has arrived on a boat. And I have the merchants describe what they see. Some person is sick, they're coughing, there's commotion around a boat. They don't really care too much about it, and they go back on their journey home. And that's when it starts. As I narrate what happens in this village, like you would for a role-playing game or a tabletop game of some sort, I occasionally will flip a coin. One side dark, one side light. And I call it the coin of fate, but I don't mention it at all. I just say to the kid, you meet the merchant and you start talking about business. Business is good. And I just say things like that. I am very vague about it. But you see, this coin represents the bubonic plague.
It's bubonic plague.
They don't know that yet. And as I go through the story, I talk about how society will slowly start to fall apart. I tell them about the sickness. As the coin comes up dark for different people, I talk about the illness as it's happening. I talk about the symptoms they experience, the buboes, the vomiting, the exhaustion, and I explain it in great detail, and I flip that coin and decide whether or not they live or die. And if they die, they have to go to the graveyard. That's in front of the class, over here on the floor.
It's a graveyard.
And they have to watch as the rest of the characters in class describe and react. I have 3 rounds in this game. After each round, they have to decide what they're going to do. When I was a kid, my dad took me to SeaWorld, and we went through the shark tunnel. It was the first year it opened, and I was scared to death because I was afraid of sharks. I just saw Jaws. And my dad told me, you don't need to worry about the sharks breaking the glass. You'll drown long before they eat you, which is a true story. And I was thinking, I remember that story. And you know what? Fear is a great way to learn.